Now then, welcome back to the channel. As the title suggests, it's going to be a bit of a walk around of the Polo. Obviously it's a 1992 VW Polo Genesis model. Before we get started, get down to the bottom, click the subscribe button, it will help. So yeah, if you do that, I appreciate it, and then we'll crack on with the video. So this video is basically going to be a brief introduction to the Polo. It is a bit of a project car. It's going to be a little bit of restoration, a bit of modification, do some performance stuff, some aesthetic stuff, see what people think. Got a few kind of plans in mind, but yeah, if there's anything that you think would, you know, do well, look good, then let us know in the comments below. So let's get to it. Do a brief walk around, might do a little bit of cinematic stuff. We'll go for a drive, see how it sort of drives on the road. The good bits, the bad bits, all that sort of stuff. Spec levels, basically, yeah, just get you introduced to the car and see what we're working with. The Polo of dreams. Like I said in the last video, obviously 1992. It's quite an old car. You know, it's coming up to sort of 30 years, so yeah, it's one of those. It does have a few creaks, it does have a few bangs. It's a little bit quirky, but that's sort of what you've got to expect with a car of this age. You know, it's never gonna drive like a new car, really. Cars this age, you've kind of just got to accept, you know, things like, obviously it doesn't have power steering. You know, that might put some people off. I prefer it, to be honest. For when you're kind of out having a bit of fun, power steering is nice to have every day when you're driving to work and, you know, you've got a bit of distance to do. But yeah, when you're just kind of out having a blast, it's not such a bad thing not having power steering. No power brakes, on the other hand, that is a different sort of, you know, different question. Having no power brakes can be a real pain. Brakes on this are almost non-existent. You've got to pretty much use the engine to brake, which you'll probably notice I'm doing. So yeah, you have got to use a lot of engine braking, really. But no, apart from that, the brakes kind of work, just don't, you know, you can't get too close behind somebody. You've got to always have in the back of your mind that you might have to stop pretty quickly and, you know, your brakes are 30 years old. Other things you've got to sort of understand about older cars is, you know, things like heaters. Obviously, that's come a long way in 30 odd years. Heaters in this car aren't very good. Only works on number 3, so it only works on sort of full blast. Thankfully it does blow hot air, but like I said, you haven't got the option of 1, 2 or 3. It's just either off or number 3. So that'll be one of the fixes that we do in a different video. So what other stuff doesn't it have compared to a normal car? Windows, you know, most cars sort of 2000 on would have electric windows. This doesn't, it's still on wind-ups, as you can see. So, you know, little things like that. Also the roof is wind up like that as well. So thankfully it's got a sunroof, but yeah, it's not like it's electric or anything. So, a bit about the car. Obviously it's a VW Polo. It's the 1.3 engine, so 1.3 litres. They brought them out in a couple of different things. They had a 1 litre, usually in a 4-speed gearbox. They had a 1.3 in a 5-speed gearbox like this one, and then you could get a Polo GT, slightly more aggressive gearbox, and like a different camshaft and stuff like that. And then you could also get a Polo G40, which was again a slightly different engine, still a 1.3 but with a supercharger on. So yeah, so this is a 1.3, obviously Genesis model. Engine is an AAV, so it's got 55 horsepower, which is absolutely nothing by today's standards. You know, a standard Polo of 2014, 15, or even now might have easily over 100 horsepower. But in a car that doesn't weigh anything, you don't need a lot of power to go. It's quite a high revving car, so it is, for the low power, you know, it's still a very fun car to drive, really. Apologies if you, well, you can obviously see me bouncing around. This isn't the smoothest road in the world. I don't know what the sort of audio quality is going to be like with everything sort of bashing around, but we'll see how it goes. Driving sort of back roads like these though, it is evident that we're going to have to put some new distance pads on quite sharpish, to be honest with you. They do still work, like I said, not the best. There is a certain amount of brake upgrades you can get for this car, but not a right lot that's going to fit underneath sort of 13, 14 inch wheels, which is usually what people put on these Polos. But yeah, saying that, the brakes aren't terrible. You get used to them, but it's not really a car that you want to jump in and act like you'll be able to stop no matter what. And like I say, this is a really rev happy car. It sort of goes around to about 6,500, but yeah, it doesn't put you back in your seat or anything, but it sounds alright and it kind of picks up enough to have a bit of fun with. So I'll just drop it a few gears, put it into third, you can have a look. When we get back after this little drive, I'll sort of give you an exterior tour. We'll have a look at some of the bits that are sort of letting this car down, what we're going to do to fix them. Obviously, we're going to look into things like suspension. It could do some better suspension. It is knocking a bit, so little problems like that we'll look into and replace. So I do just need to get some fuel, even though these cars sort of do run on fumes. It's yeah, we've run out of fumes at the moment. Fortunately, 35 quid would probably bring this tank, so it's not a very big tank at all. Yeah, you're looking at about 30 to 35 quid, I would say, to bring it. Give you a quick sort of walk around, show you the good bits, show you the bad bits, see what we're going to change. If you have got any suggestions, obviously leave them down in the comments, you know, what you would like to see, what you've done to your own, if you've already got one. Let's get started. First thing you might see, the door, to me, looks a slightly different shade. I don't know if you can see, but this is one of the things that's annoying me anyway. So if you can see here, get a bit closer, it does have some dings in it. It is a little bit rusty at the bottom. Now, supposedly this door was in better nick than the old one, but yeah, if you have got any steel blue doors, give me a shout. Wherever you are in the country, I'll probably come to you. Yeah, if anybody's got a decent set of wheels, feel free to message me with whatever you've got, see if I like them. Anything sort of spokey, BBSE. So yeah, give us a shout. The bumpers is another one of those things, really. Now, I don't know what this is, but I can't get it off. It sort of scratches off. It looks like somebody's had a go at scratching it off there with a bloody wire brush or something. But yeah, it's sort of all the way along I'm not sure what it is, to be honest. It's really hard to get off. You can sort of give it a scratch. I don't know if it's just sort of layers and layers of bumper gel or I don't know. You can see here, but yeah, it's obvious it's not great. Yeah, apart from that, the front bumper is sort of in all right condition. So yeah, if you've got any tips on sort of restoring that, I'll probably keep this bumper, to be honest. The back bumper's got a bit of a scuff in it, so I'll look at sorting that. This door, I don't know if you can see that in the light, but it's kind of crumpled. It's not I don't know. It's definitely not straight, but yeah, so 2 doors. If you have got a door, give me a shout, and yeah, like I said, I'll probably come and get it off you. These originally came with like a bit of black piping along there, so that's another part that I'm missing, which I would quite like. I know they're quite fragile, you can't always get them off, but yeah, if you've got some of them, drop me a comment. Take you on the back of it. Somebody's already de-wiped it already. Don't know how I feel about that, but because it's already done, I'll just leave it. There's no point messing with something like that, so yeah, leave that. Has already got some sort of exhaust system on it. Previous owner, got sort of a straight through to the back box. Sounds all right, quite raspy. So yeah, probably leave that as well. This back bumper, this is a bit of damage that I was talking about. So I need a back bumper, ideally. Like I said, plan so far, some sort of performance cam, some wheels, some coilovers, sort of tied it up. It'll be sort of a little series, kind of half restoration, half modification, and we'll see how it goes. If you've got any ideas, let me know. These are the Genesis seats. They also came in a Scirocco GT2, I believe. The Scirocco ones have got a bit of a kind of higher bolster. Yeah, really hard to find, but I wouldn't mind a set of those. I do believe they sit a little bit higher, so it's a bit of a higher seating position, but yeah, they do look a lot better and obviously hold you in the seat a bit more than these. This is another part that I need. That sort of just slots behind there and that bit's lost. We've got a leather Mk2 Golf steering wheel. I believe it's from a Mk2 Golf anyway, but yeah, nice to have a leather steering wheel. It is a little bit bigger than the original Polo wheel. Does make it a bit easier to steer at kind of slow speeds, which is quite a good thing, but I do quite like a small wheel, so that might go. Everyone's always asking how you get heat out of these. Short answer is you don't. They're just cold air feed, so yeah, don't expect any sort of heat out of those in winter.
Right then, I hope you enjoyed the video. Gives you a bit of an idea of what we're working with, what's wrong with it, and what we need to fix. In the next video, you can expect to start work. I've ordered a few bits, so hopefully it should come this week and we'll crack straight on with it. If you have enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, anything that you would like to see in the future videos, and make sure you give it a subscribe. See you in the next one.